Hey, hello, how are you guys? Hello, Satris. Hey, Natalia. How's everything going in New York? Tocayo, how are you, Tocayo? Thank you, thank you. I have received your emails. I will reply back today. Thank you for the warm welcome to the sunny California. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Hey, TM, Bets Boy, what's up? Hey, AK, yeah, I'm in West Houston. I'm in West Houston. It's a nice city. It's called Katy. It's just like heading to San Antonio. It's like the last exit to San Antonio. So yeah, I'm here. Texas in the house. Hey, Fulvio, how are you? Hello, Kumar. You are in Austin. Yeah. I'll go to Austin. I think it's the last week. I think it's the last week of October. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Hey Sherry, where are you? Here in Houston? Don't mess with Texas, Jewel. Thank you, Alex. The trip was amazing. It was a very short trip. I went to LA. I landed like I think like Tuesday midnight, and I just came back yesterday. So it was a 2 day trip, but it was amazing. I got to meet with a few friends that I actually never met before. I mean, in person, right? So I was with my coaches, Tony and Jack, and also with my friends, the part of the moderation team on the communities, Luke and Cam. And it was actually a nice trip because I was all the time I was with Luke. We met at the airport, and we stayed on the same hotel. So we took lunch, and we took breakfast, and we were doing everything together. And it was such an experience because he's turning 19 today. So happy birthday, Luke. If you are here, probably he's not here because he's he's with his friends. He's staying in California because he used to live in California. So he met with some of his friends. So it was a very interesting trip because I mean the difference of age is like huge, right? But look, he's a really nice guy. He's a very mature uh, boy, and we actually spent like quality time. It was super nice. And then we went to a meetup of one of the communities of Scarface, the Traders Lab, and it was a really nice meetup because I met a few of you guys. I met with some traders from this community, from the YouTube community, from the Scarface community, and it was amazing. I mean, I just like I come here or come to Discord every day, and it's like, hey guys, how you doing? And I try to reply to your comments and your questions, and we kind of like have a real relationship, right? Like a real friendship. But sometimes it's like you never met them in person. So this time it was a really nice experience. I had a really good time. Just as I said, I met with my coaches, also with a really nice guy, Hayden. Hayden, he's part of the moderation team. He's really good friend with Jack and Tony, so he's traveling all places with them. Really nice guy. I mean, I already like him, but now in person, he's a really nice guy. And yeah, so it was a super nice trip. It was a super nice trip. And also we spent a few hours on the Madame Tussauds wax museum. It was super fun. It was super fun. I had a lot of fun. I'm not sure if Luke enjoyed it as much as I did, but I had a lot of fun. uh, all right. Hello, Basil, Chandru, Sherry in Cyprus. Yeah, I know where Cyprus is. I know I-10 and Barker. Hola, Carlita. Thank you, Thomas, Sean, AK. Yeah, not nah, bro. No, he's not here. And also, he had today an amazing trade. Part of luck, but like the big chunk was because of preparation. So he had an amazing day on his birthday. I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that. Yeah, Thomas, we traded together. I actually I have one of my rules is I don't trade if I don't have like 4 hours straight, 4 hours of dream or sleep, right? So I was like hesitating about taking a trade yesterday and on Wednesday, but yesterday we had an amazing day. Actually, you know what? I didn't realize, but I just had back-to-back days with bangers. Like I call a banger when I have like a 100% trade. So I had back-to-back days with bangers, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I did today, and if we still have some time, I will show you what I did yesterday. But today was an amazing. It was an amazing trade. For being honest, I didn't think it will be that amazing. But you know, I mean, luck is part of trading, and I was at the right time, at the right place, and I was positioned to be lucky, right? So let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right. Yeah, Donald Trump is making their moves. All right. So this is what I was watching today on SPY. For being honest, I mean on a Friday, and this is purely my feelings. As you know, I base a lot of my plays on my own experience, on my own observations, and Fridays are not the best days for the indices. So even when I don't size up or I use I only have like three different sizes for my trades. I'm not gonna talk about that like today, but I only have like three different sizes, and I'm never double down on anything. I have like my standard for my A plus setups, my mid size, let's say, size for a starter position or something that is not like A plus, and I have my forward testing size. So today was like a day just like usual. I was watching this setup. In my eyes, it was like a good setup for me. So I was on my regular size, on my full size, like that's my regular size. Just as I said, I never double down because it's looking good. No, no, I try to stay consistent on size, and well, you're welcome, Fulvio. So today was like just like a day with some luck because of this. But let's talk first about we were watching here. So this green line, guys, it's the previous week high. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this green line was the previous week high, and as you know, it was the previous all-time highs, right? So I was watching this move here. So this is the break, and then this is the retest and some consolidation around this area. So when it was actually launching from here, I was like, well, this is not the break and retest of the previous day high. That will be my my bullish play. But it was a nice play, right? It was a nice play. It's the 5 minute opening range high, the previous week high that it was a previous all-time highs. So I said, well, this is a nice trade. So I didn't take, as you know, I'm in my discipline challenge, so I'm just taking puts on the indices. So this is not something that I took, but this actually looks good. For being honest, this actually is looking good. So I will open a position here, and I will expect at least the move to the high of the day, to the high of the day. It just didn't happen, right? It just didn't happen. We had this strong reaction on this key level 673.10. This key level also, I mean, guys, if you zoom out, look left, you will see this 673.10. It has been a key level, I think, for the whole week. I mean, this is not actually a level that I set today. This has been here for a few days. So we had a strong reaction here. I will close my position on this reaction, and then I was watching this. I mean, it failed this 673.50, then it failed this key level on the 15-minute chart, and then we came back, rejections, and then a huge push down. So this is my actual trade. This is my actual trade. So I opened my position right here when we broke the 5-minute opening range high, because because I was watching all these rejections on this 15-minute chart key level. It was a lower high. It was a lower high. So we had this lower high. Well, this high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This was a lower high. So I was expecting a lower low, right? So I opened my position right here. It was 10:13 in the morning, Eastern time. I opened my position here. And let me tell you what I did. I actually closed half of my position right here on the 5-minute opening range low. Why? Because I got like 40% right here. Just this drop, it was like 40% on here. And I unload like 50% my position. And I was like, well, let's see if we have a lower high, and then we will have a lower low. So right here, we were like 15% negative, but I already had like 40% on my whole, on half my position. So this was a risk I was willing to take, right? So we kept rejecting this 673.10. We kept rejecting here, and I was like, well, this is going places. I mean, I know this my range around here between the 5-minute opening range, but let's say what happened. So I draw this line here, this trend line here, and I was just waiting. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, here I was ready to close my position if we close above this 673.10. But then we had this Donald Trump, news on China, news on tariffs, and we had this. And well, it was kind of fun because I was like, well, what's going on? And I was like looking below the table, because this red candle was so aggressive that I was like, oh my god, what happened to my screen, right? So I just went down and down and down. I closed quarter of my position here. It was like 350%. And then we kept going lower and lower, and I closed something here. It was like 400%. And I was just on runners when we hit this 665.50 right here. And for me, guys, I had like 10% of my position with 683%. This is my new record. This is my new record, and thank God it was with more contracts, because my previous record was only with 3 contracts, and it went like 500 and something. But today I have 10 contracts, and it was all the way to 683%. It was super crazy. I actually closed my position there. I didn't wait for the rest of the drop, because I was too emotional, for being honest. I was super emotional right here, so I just closed my position. I managed to be like, okay, well, I'm totally out. And I was super happy. I was super happy. So the best thing that I can do is like, okay, well, I'm realizing my profits. I'm taking what the market just gave me, and this was way more than expected. This was well above my plans. So with gratitude, I took this, closed my computer, and I just went out. And I was talking with some of you in the community. I was talking with the other mods, but on my phone, away of my broker, because these guys, I mean, when you see something like this, you are just too emotional, and you are, I mean, you can make a lot of mistakes. I miss some of this, but for being honest, do you remember what I tell you every time? Like, volatility, it's a two-way street. So I was actually expecting like a huge green candle coming for liquidity lost, I don't know, like here. So I just realized my profits here. Again, I was expecting a huge candle, like higher, but no, it kept dropping. For being honest, I mean, I closed my position like in these candles here, and this thing, I just watched it like a few minutes ago. I didn't realize it kept dropping. I didn't realize it kept dropping. So, well, what's happening now? What's happening now? It's on this previous week low area. So we just gave away all the gains. At least SPY gave away all the gains for the week, and I don't think that's bearish at all. It's just like a, a weird day on the market. But I mean, not sure if you remember, but we have been with tariffs news, China news, like the whole year. So market, at some time, market is gonna realize that, hey, dude, I mean, this is the same story that we have been listening since April. So yeah, probably it's just preparing for the Santos rally. Santos rally since October sounds good, right? Sounds good. Oh well, that was my trade, guys. Uh, Thank you very much for your congratulations. I really like something that Ramesh, Royale 191, probably he's not here today, but he said something like that actually hit me hard. I was on the right place at the right time, but as you can see, I was prepared to be there, right? I mean, yes, it was lucky. Yes, it was lucky, but I was prepared to be that lucky, right? And it's like I'm being lucky. The more I prepare for these kind of things, the more I prepare for these kind of things, the more lucky I am. So yeah, I mean, I understand this has to be at some percentage with luck, but you need to be prepared to be lucky, right? So just that's just a reminder for you guys. I mean, don't expect to be lucky all the time, but the more prepared you are, the more lucky you get. All right. Uh, thank you guys. Still dreaming of having a day like that. Yeah, I mean, this is my first time with something like this crazy. TM. My previous record was 500 and something, and my previous record of that was like 200 and something. So this is, I mean, these are outliers, right? Of course, I'm taking this out of my journal for data, because this is just an outlier. I don't want to mess my data with days like this. uh, I'm just super happy. Thank you, Tokayo. Bets boy, I saw it but cannot commit it. Between that and the work. Thank you. If I were you, I can hold position too long. I already closed when SPY is range around 10:30. Well, it, market structure was intact, right? Market structure was intact. So I was just expecting for this trend line and this key level on the 15-minute chart to be broken. That was my line on the sun. Tu- Good, DC. BBB. No, I have 10 contracts for the runners. Which candle? 1013. This one here. This one rejecting this key level here. Do, do, do. Thank you, Basil. What do you think about the calls entry 935? Well, 935, that's not me. That's not me. I think it's just too aggressive to trade between the first 10, 15 minutes, especially on the indices. So what do I think? I think that was super aggressive. Yeah, it's the break and retest of pre-market high, but that's just too aggressive. It's there's no enough data for the day to actually take decisions, in my opinion, in my playbook. Uh, yeah, Chen, it was crazy, right? Thank you, BBB. Thank you, Chandra. All right, so guys, I wanted to show you first SPY and then QQQ and then QQQ because it's kind of the same thing in every name. In every name. So, for example, here, let me tell you, I will have something like this. I don't know why this thing is going just like that. I will try to have something like this to have the day. It was almost 1 to 3 risk reward. I will be stop out on this candle just as SPY, and now I'm watching this level here, right? This is the how did we say the battleground? Oh well, it's right here. It's just small support, turn into resistance, and then the drop, right? So I will, as you can see, you are having lower highs every time. This is an outlier, but it's not breaking your battleground. This is the same trade that I took. It's well, this is 1010. I took 1013. So maybe, well, look at this. Maybe you had something like this. This is the trade I took on SPY. So if you were entering like on QQQ, maybe you were like here on this 1010. But just as I told you, like right here, it was 40%. It was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio trade. I had 50% of my position right here. I sold 50% of my position on these candles. And it was just waiting, guys. I mean, again, this is just not breaking key levels, not breaking market structure. And yes, I mean, this is just luck. But if you were playing the exact same thing that you are playing all the time, again, the more prepared you are, the more lucky you get, right? So this is the exact same thing that we talked on SPY. So I'm gonna just move forward with this. AMD, this was even easier. This was weak since the very beginning. So this is the break and retest previous day low. As you know, this is my favorite setup. Break and retest previous day low. You can see here reactions on the previous on the key levels on the daily chart. The blue lines are key levels on the daily chart. So you have reaction here. Market structure still intact. And then you had this huge drop. This is the break and retest of this key level on the daily chart. Also low of the day. So two different entries for AMD. Anyone took entries on AMD or QQQ, something crazy? Chen, why did you not take 1010? Well, on SPY? 10, 10. I wanted the break of the 5-minute opening range on SPY. That's what I waited here. That's what I did it on 1013 and not 1010. This is 1013. This is 1010. On QQQ it was a little bit clearer, or like just as you said, 1010. It's like you are below the 5-minute opening range. this might be a better opportunity on QQQ. But well, I was watching SPY, so that's why. Well, that was AMD. Anyone took AMD today? Jason, you took Apple. Let's do Lando 1057 on the Qs. 1057. 1057. Ah, you were chasing, my friend. You were chasing, for being honest. I mean, this candle here, I know this is a huge drop. This is a huge drop, but unless you tell me like, oh, well, Neto, I was taking it here, but I remember this candle. I mean, it came from here to here in 2 seconds. So there's no way you can, like get an entry here. 1057. Yeah, 1057, this candle here. But it worked. So you were playing the breakout, but it worked. That was a good play, Lando. Tocayo, you took AMD 1001. 1001. Is this one right here? Good job, Tocayo. And where did you sold your contracts? I know it's a Friday, so maybe you sold like here. But you had a good chunk here, right? This 227.30 had to close before tariffs get kids to school. Oh yeah, bad luck. Oh, that's great, Lando. I mean, if you were prepared for that's great. It's just like it was a breakout trade. That it wasn't a break and retest. All right, so Amazon, nothing too serious, nothing too much until we had the tariff scandals. For being honest, it didn't hit Amazon as I was thinking. It didn't hit Amazon as I was thinking, but well, before the tariffs thing, I don't see anything. Like it was inside of the 5-minute opening range all the time, so I didn't see anything on Amazon. Nvidia still very bullish here. You had this break and retest of high of the day, this high of the day, and if you took it to 195.50, it was a 1 to 2.3 risk reward ratio trade. That was a very decent trade, all the way to previous day high. That was a very decent trade. Anyone took a trade on Nvidia? Linda, 1013. Let me go back to AMD 1013. 1013. What you were watching here, Linda? Or 1013 Central? 1013 Central? Linda Brown, 1013 Central, so it's 1113 Eastern. And you were playing support resistance on this range. Yeah, that worked, but I don't know. I don't know if I will take that. I know this is like this. I mean, you were just playing the ranges, right? You were playing the ranges. 1113. You actually bought in the middle of this range, right in the middle of this range. So you got lucky. You got lucky, Linda. You got lucky there. What do you think? Nvidia pre-market high retest. Yeah, no displacement here. No displacement here. Again, if you are super bullish on Nvidia, as many of you are, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Yeah, you may have like an entry something like here, something like this, and this was actually really good. This was actually really good. Uh, yes, displacement here is not that good. That's why I didn't consider. But yeah, I mean, if you are really bullish on Nvidia, where is this thing going? All right. Remember, I have my shares there. So I just want to Nvidia to hit 300. All right. So yeah, I mean, this is a good trade. It's just like I don't like this displacement here, and just because you were consolidating here, I will wait for this something like this, like the break of this range, and then the retest, just as we did here, just as we did here, right? 8K 842 Central Mountain Pacific Eastern 842 Eastern. No way. It opens 9:30. Central, yeah, yeah. All right, I'll take a look in a minute. Yeah. So just for you now, guys, I am in Texas, right? So I'm in Central Time, but I try to do this on Eastern Time. So I know all of you guys are, like you do your conversion to New York time. So I think it's easier for everyone. So if you want to tell me like a play, it's always easier to tell me like Eastern time or to specify what time zone you are, right? Okay. So, well, that was Nvidia. This was Tesla. Tesla was inside of the 5 minute opening range for a while, and then the drop. What's going on with Tesla? 416. That's good. 416 is previous week low. Yeah, no real play here, right? No real play here. Maybe this break retest pre-market high. Actually, this was a nice play. Something like here. Aiming too high of the day. It just didn't work, right? But this is good. I mean, the retest. This is above previous day high. That's very bullish. This is the retest of pre-market high. 1 minute opening range. You have like a really nice reaction right here. So you take your trade right here at the somewhere around here, like on this reclaim of the pre-market high, maybe above these three candles, like something like here, expecting high of the day, or yeah, expecting this 15-minute chart key level. Just again, it just didn't work. It went down right here, 440, 50. That's a shame. Uh, what is this? Well, this is Microsoft. I'm not drawing any play here because I don't think you guys are. Come on, Chen, make your conversion. Make your conversion. It's gonna be very tough for me. Like Shanghai time, Hong Kong time, Singapore time. Uh, I know. Neto, how do you take your entry at the confirmation candle close? Or well, I'm always looking how the candle is actually, like developing. So if you are having like a nice move, and you don't wait for the candle closure. I usually, as you can see here, I'm always like, let me go back. Look, for example, here I'm not waiting for this candle to close because it's reacting so well. So the only thing that I'm waiting is to actually be above or below a relevant key level. So for example, here, this is above these 1, 2, 3 candles, like right here. So I will be opening my position here, not waiting for this. I mean, you can do that, but I mean, I would like, to actually you reading the price, right? Like looking what it's actually doing, that candle. All right, so Microsoft here, this green line is previous week high. So you are using previous week high as support, then turn into resistance. And you had, look at this, you had 2 opportunities here for the break and retest of this battleground or support turn into resistance flip zone. And if you took one of these 2 entries, look at this. I mean, you might got lucky, but you were prepared because you are watching this price action here, right? I mean, there's nothing to prepare you for something like this, but the price action was showing you that this wanted to go lower. These don't want to reclaim this previous week high. Anyone took Microsoft? Rondo, yeah, you are making double productive your day, right? Dudes, higher time frames were showing lower highs. Yeah, well, again, dudes, just as I said, that's a great observation. And in my experience, indices tend to go lower a bit or just consolidate on Fridays. And I kind of understand, like for example, on the like on these times where they just sign a peace agreement for Israel and Hamas, and Russia is saying that they agree with everything, and some countries are agreeing with something. There's you just need one guy doing the wrong things to start a new spark, right? So this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. This is not financial advice, but these are the times where I don't like to leave my money on the market for too long. So I know there's a lot of investors that's exactly what they did or what they do. Like, okay, well, how was the week? Okay, well, the week was okay. I made like 2, 3, 5% on my portfolio. That's perfect. So I'm gonna take my chips for the weekend because I prefer to have my chips on my pocket and not on the market. So that's what happens sometimes. Some people, and this is just my observation. Fridays are usually a take profit day or a consolidation day. But if you go back to Fridays on SPY and QQQ for the past, I don't know, like year, you will see this. Remember, in trading, nothing works all of the time and everything works sometimes, right? So, but you will see that there's a tendency of, like a take profit or just consolidation for Fridays on indices. And that's why usually on Fridays I try to be with lower size, because sometimes or most of the times I make the same amount of money with less size. So I feel less pressure because I'm risking less. No swings for me on weekends. Yes, exactly. No swings for me. Uh, Kumar, Neto, since you are only doing puts right now, if the market is bullish in the beginning, do you wait for change of character? Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Like, for example, here, support, turn into resistance. So this change of character here, these are the opportunities that I take. And I'm not expecting to tank or drop like this all of the time. But just as I told you here, for example, on this move here, From 672.80 to 671.90, this drop, I have like almost a 50%. That's perfect. I know this is not gonna have a continuation to the downside. I'm just looking for the intraday key levels, like the 5 minute opening range low. This is the swipe of the lows. So maybe this is just like the pullback long, right? But taking advantage of these moves, that's how I've been building my edge. And I just love it. I just love it because again, this fits my personality first because I'm not afraid of taking puts. I'm not afraid of the red candles as many people is. And also I'm not super patient when I'm in a trade. I'm not super patient. So that's why I love puts, because usually they work like right away, like or in a few minutes. And on calls you need, like build your position, expect the market structure to be there. So it's a different thing. So I just that's just one reason I like it. Not telling, AK. Is it good time to start telling cash secure puts? I sold one for next. No, I don't know. Exactly, Lando. Yeah, escalator up, elevator down. How do you get conviction to hold your runners for around 30 minutes after getting out majority of your position earlier? Yeah, well, the Greeks are crazy on same day, but yeah, I mean there are different ways to do this, right, BBB? Like, I mean, you can enter exit your positions on. I mean, it just I don't like to have like many trades in a day, so I prefer to have whatever market gives me on the first push, and then I wait for the continuation, because that's what I do, right? I wait for continuation on the moves. It's usually not just a push down. It's usually some looking for some liquidity. So well, it's just I trust my setup, right? What about this week? QQQ and SPY went to the upside all day. Well, you just wait. You just wait. I mean, if your setup is not there, I mean, you don't force anything. Guys, do you want me to show you what I did yesterday? Oh, it's not here. Uh, this is what I did yesterday. And let me tell you. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. This is what I did yesterday. So, for example, here, I took my position here. It was 9:59. Yeah, it was 9:59. After this break retest of this 672.12, I took part of my position here. Yes, I took part of my position here, and I hold it here. I know this went all the way to 15% negative here, but I was waiting for this market structure to continue, and that's exactly what happened, right? So it held this previous lower high, and then it created a lower low. So right here, I took more on my position right here on this candle, breaking low of the day, breaking this key level here. I took some more here, then I waited, market structure still intact, continuation to the downside, break of this previous low of the day. I took some more here, and I took more on this 672, 670, 67 key level. I took more here, and I just closed my position here. So this is what I did yesterday. This is what I did yesterday. So again, it's why don't you close your position right here? Well, because I'm waiting for the market structure to actually work. Right? So if it doesn't work, that's fine. I mean, that's the risk I'm taking. But that's why you take profits on low of the day, right? On the first pushes down, you take some profits. And right here, it was already going lower. So here I only took like 1/4 of my position. 1/4 of my position. It was like, again, it was like 30% maybe here. So you go here, it's 15% negative. So on your overall P&L, it's like maybe 5% positive. That's fine. You can live with that. You are taking the risk. The only thing that is for sure here is that you are gonna get losses. So if you take this risk, you are positioning yourself to take these wins, right? So you need to be comfortable with the risk you are taking. If you are getting anxious here, if you are getting too excited right here, maybe you are sizing too much. Richard, Neto, you ever use the 15-minute opening range? I'm not looking for the 15-minute opening range, but sometimes it's just like it's happening, right? So this is what I was telling you from yesterday, guys. 125% on these streams. So back-to-back bangers for me. Back-to-back bangers for me today. All right, so we were in Microsoft. Let me go to your question, guys. Rondo, I've been selling cover calls for 2 months. You know what? You are not gonna believe this, but I don't know how they work, the cover calls. It's just like I found that options are like easy to understand and to play. So I've never been in other instruments. What was breakup structure for you today? On what? On what, AK? Basil. Well, I just did. Rondo, I love Fridays because I get to harvest cover calls. Again, I don't know how they work. To degenerate gamblers like me? Yeah. Natalia, can you show me an example of break of structure entry? Well, this is one. Well, no, this is not one. Palantir, nothing too much to offer today. Apple. Someone was asking for Apple. Who asked for Apple? Apple. Someone asked for Apple. Guys, if you ask for Apple, please send me again your question. Well, Natalia, this is kind of an example. This is kind of an example, right? So you are having here, like you are breaking, so you have a high, higher low, higher high. This is a higher low. This is a higher high. This is a higher low, but this is a lower high. Can you see? So this is a lower high, lower low, lower high here, and this is a lower low. So right here you have your change of character, right? You have your change of character. That's why I'm trying to buy on this exhaustion, aiming to continue market the structure now to the downside. So let me try to zoom in here. Okay, so you have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and here you have a lower high and lower low. So here you have your change of character, right? Here you have your change of character. So what I'm just doing here is I'm waiting for the break and retest of this change of character. This is how I play this kind of play, this kind of trades. Is it clear, Natalia? Yeah, okay. So this is the break of structure and this is the change of character, right? So you are just playing the break and retest and continuation of this new market structure. All right. I know you love these draws. The head and shoulders break and retest of this battleground, support turn into resistance, flip zone. Hey Manny, how you doing, Manny? I'm curious how you do it. I know how Luke does it. Well, look at me. We do it the same way. Yeah, we do it the same way. Uh, rounded top. Once inverse coupon. Yeah, you know what? This is an inverse coupon handle. Yeah, that's that's right. This is an inverse coupon handle. Yeah, you are totally right. Ah, good, Natalia. Yeah, keep asking, keep asking. I know some of you are just joining the community and you don't want to ask. Here we are for that, answering all of your questions. Google 1052. 1052 puts. 1052. 1052. Third rejection of flip zone. I like it. I mean, I like your idea. I like your idea. This is the first rejection. This is the second rejection. This is the third rejection, and you are getting here. 1052. Yeah. Wow. That was an awesome trade. And you know that is the kind of reasoning that I like. I mean, you are aware of these rejections here, rejection here, rejection here, and this rejection here, this 1049, it's the most aggressive rejection of all. Can you see? Well, maybe not like, maybe just like this, right? But it's super aggressive, and it's taking you right below the 5-minute opening range. I like it. I really like it. That was a good one. That was a very good one. And it's actually lower than this. That was a very good one. Good job there, Patrick. Learning from you. Thank you. When when the market drop off tariff news, would you recommend playing the first pullback? For being honest, I wouldn't recommend entering on these drops. I wouldn't. I would not do it. You are just gambling. But that's me. I mean, if if you like to do that, that's fine. It just for me, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, you just miss it. You just miss it because again, volatility, it's a two-way street. So just as you got this drop, you may have a nice rip, and you just are cooked on that, right? Meta, nothing too interesting here inside of the 5 minute opening range until we have this drop. And there's, I mean, yeah, hand side, you can see this nice retest of key levels on the 15-minute chart. But again, this might come here all the way to fill this imbalance or this fair value gap, uh, however you call it. And this is, I mean, this is just very hard to play. This is just very hard to play. All right, guys. So that's all that I have for today. I leave you with this. Uh, I'm not bragging with you guys. I'm just telling you that doing consistently, following consistently your system, being loyal to your rules, journaling, squeezing all of the lessons to all of your plays is just being more prepared. And something that I learned here is the more I prepare, the more lucky I get. All right. Thank you very much for everything. Remember, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are almost 900. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you all for being part of this community. And I will see you on Monday. Bye.